Hello everybody, Jared back again, and welcome to episode 1 of Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. I am super stoked, guys. I have been sinking countless hours into this game over the past few weeks, and I am loving every second of it. If you guys don't know, this is a action RPG strategy, a little bit of real-time strategy, all kind of combined into one, in which you play a clan lord or a king you can become, and you work your way through a medieval world and a kind of a sandbox-like world. We're going to go into that more as we get into the game. Let's do it. So I'm going to play, as usual, guys, into the Harry Potter universe as Godric Gryffindor, and we're about to go create him in a second. If you don't want to see the whole character creation series of events, you can just jump to this timestamp, and we will actually just start from there. But if you want to sit around and watch me make Godric, here we go. All right, starting in campaign mode. There's really only two things you can do. You can do custom battles or campaign. We want to go into campaign. Okay, before we actually get to creating the character, we have to create our culture. Now, there is a little bit of strategy to this. There are 6 different cultures in the game. There's the Asurai, which we will talk like a little bit more about these different cultures when we actually start playing. But just so you guys know, each of these different cultures, these guys are more like, if you want to put them in our actual world, they're kind of more like Egyptian, Middle Eastern. So they're camel riders. And each of these different cultures will give you a bonus here. And there are definite better and worse cultures. So I'm going to choose a culture based on the stat, not where I actually think Godric is from, just as a heads up. So let's go through them anyway. So the Asurai, they have caravans, which make you money, are 30% cheaper to build, which is awesome. And they have a 10% less trade penalty. Definitely one of the better ones. I would say this is my third favorite. All right, let's go over to Kuwaits. These guys are more like kind of like Mongolians, and they have a 10% speed for horsemen on the campaign map. Second or first in my opinion. Extra speed on the campaign map is essential, and we'll talk more about that as we get into the game. Battanians, they are like more of like they're like longbow, two-handed. Think of Britons. They're the Britons. Britannians, that's kind of the play on words. They get a 10% less in forest. Not that great. There is a lot of forest on the map, so if you want it, that's awesome. If you want to hang out in Britannia where there's lots of forest, it is a great one. Not one of my favorites. The Empire, they're like the Roman Empire, basically. Think middle of Europe back in the day. So they get a bonus to speed, which is great if you want. It's great for late game when you are owning just so many castles and cities and whatnot. But for the start of the game, particularly where we're going to spend most of our time, Empire's not that great. Sturgians, they are like the Vikings or like the Nordic people. Scandinavia, lots of snow, Viking shields, Viking axes. Awesome. They are my least favorite. Unless you're planning on hanging out in the snow constantly, then they're awesome. They have a 20% less speed penalty in snow. And then we have the Valandians. So Valandians are like horse archers. Think like Spain and Portugal. Again, we'll walk more through the map when we get there. They're ex-Empire, which actually is the kind of the culture that I want Godric to be from. But we're not going to choose this stat, even though it is probably my favorite. It is 1 and 2 with the Khazaits. It is 20% XP to troops from battle, which is beautiful, particularly in an early game when you're trying to get all of your small recruits up. It is beautiful. But because of the way I like to play, I like to run around with a bunch of prisoners in my my army, because that's where I recruit from bandits. I like to play as the Khazaits because I don't want to be a Khazait. I just want this bonus. I like to have cavalry, which gives me extra bonus speed, and that kind of negates the negative I'm going to get from having prisoners. And we'll talk more about that in the actual game. So I'm going to choose Khazait just as the bonus. It's not actually where Godric is from. Godric is more of a Valandian / Battanian. But we'll talk about that as we get in here. All right, character creation. I do have a mod on right here that is making this look a little bit different. It's not the main reason I wanted to use this mod. I wanted to use this mod to create my companions in the future. But just so you guys know, you can see this. This is actually not what you would have. All you would really have would be voice pitch, height, I think actually that's all you have in vanilla. So I'm going to go through and actually going to make Godric here. The one thing I wanted to show you guys was the age. So this is not on there. Usually when you start the game in vanilla, your character is 30 years old. And I think that's kind of silly because your character actually does age and die, and it ages pretty fast. So I kind of want Godric to be starting off as like an 18, 20-year-old. Maybe we'll just pump that up. Just where do we go from teenager to man? Right there? You know what? Let's make Godric like super young. Maybe that might even be 18. 18 is an adult in this game. All right, guys, and then you can change your pitch. Let's see what it says.
Raise the ladders!
Raise the ladders!
Up the ladders!
Up the ladders. There we go. Let's make Godric a beast of a man. His build is like boom, boom. He's Godric Gryffindor. Of course he's a beast of a man, right? And he's a little bit darker. All right, guys, I'm going to go through and create Godric, and then I will be right back with our creation. All right, guys, this is what I came up with. He's a beast of a man. He's got himself a big, giant red beard. And you know what? I might even just go, let's see, do we want to go even bigger beard? Maybe just a little bit bigger. I think Godric has a giant beard. I mean, does he have one of these? Oh, no, we're going to go with this one. Got a pretty big beard. Got his red hair. This red hair comes from that mod as well, so that's nice to have. And then we're not going to give him a marking, I don't think. Does Godric have a marking? Yeah, he's got himself a nice big scar. There you go. So here's Godric Gryffindor. This is what he looks like. Let's go to the next section. All right, here is the next big section of creating your character, and that is you're going to go through your entire life picking different things that have happened in your life, and that's going to affect your stats. So I want to do a social and intelligent stat because that's a little bit harder to get going in the game, whereas like you're fighting and endurance, those things just like happen as you go through the game, as you guys will see. So let's go through. What do we want? Well, let's get this is going to be charm and trade. Is that what I want? Let's just drop through here, see what we got. This one is charm and medicine, not terrible. No. I mean, you know what? Horseback riding and bow? I think I might go with that actually. Tribespeople, because I want to use a bow. And getting my riding up is kind of imperative. All right, next. Leadership skills is going to give me leadership and tactics. Your brawn is just going to be fighting. Attention to detail, nah. Numbers, nah. Way with people, leadership and charm. And so I do want my steward to be good, but we also want my leadership to be good. You know what? Way with people, leadership and charm. Charm is super important to get married and just charm your way through things, as you guys will see. So I'm going to choose that one. What do we want in this one? I want some intellectual if I can. Doesn't seem like I'm getting a lot of leadership going on here. This one's medicine. I'm going to get a medic myself, so I don't particularly need that. Oh, worked in the smithy. The other main thing I want from this game, this playthrough, is to create the Sword of Gryffindor. So having some smithing immediately, absolutely awesome. It has two-handed swords and two-handed fighting, which I'm not a huge fan of. I probably want to go one-handed, but we can get our one-handed up at a later time. So let's use that. Trained with cavalry, garrison, that's bows, which is nice. Rode with the scouts, that's bows and horses. Might want to go with that one. This is going to give me a very huge bonus to all of them, but not really what I want. I think I'm going to be doing rode with the scouts. It's going to make my horse riding and my shooting awesome, which I'm going to be using a lot. All right, is there anything else I can do here that's going to get my... I wanted some stewardship if I could. Oh, there we go. Treated people well. That gives me charm and steward. Absolutely. So that's my young adulthood. And then I believe this is my last one. This is going to give me a lot of charm, a lot of leadership. No. Anything with steward? Nothing with stewardship. So, anything with... nope. Okay. Well, I might do organized breakout to get some more leadership, because leadership is awesome. Thinking. This is going to give me athletics and one-handed, which is also not a bad plan. That's going to give me more bows, which is not a bad plan. I don't particularly care about you. Do I care about leadership and charm? I'm kind of sad about my one-handed. So I think I might choose Subdued a Raider. I know this is spreading me out a little bit more than I wanted to, particularly because I have almost nothing in intelligence. I wanted more in intelligence, but I guess we can boast that later. Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to do Subdued a Raider just so I can get some one-handed. Okay, here we go. So that is our person. We're going to rename him Godric. And let's jump to the next part here. Boom. Here we go. So I'm going to set this to the second level for both of these. All I can do is you can just go to realistic for all of these. I usually like to do just 2 out of 3. It makes everything go a little bit easier. I'm going to do bonus of 5, everything did second, and I'm also going to bump this up to veteran, just so that makes my AI a little bit better. I'm not going to enable death or auto-allocate clan. Enable death means if I die in the game, my game is over. Don't want to do that, I might die a lot. And auto-allocate clan members perks, I want to choose what my clan members do. All right, let's jump into this game, guys. So first thing that happens when you start the game is you have to go through this training. You don't have to, but you can be put through the training. I'm going to choose not to. You guys, if you are new to the game, absolutely go through this. It's going to make you, particularly battling in the arenas and in the real world, make a lot more sense, but we're going to skip it. We don't need it. Yeah, we're skipping the training. I've done it a bunch of times. All it's going to do is show you how to do all these things, and I'm going to show you how to do those things real time. Okay, investigate the folly. That's going to be our main quest, and our first banner piece is found. So, here we go. Notification. A few hours after you leave the training ground, you come across a wounded man laying in a tree. Share your water with him. Try to address his wounds as best you can. He tells you he is a traveling doctor. To thank you for your help, he hands you a small bronze artifact, which says he was once given to him in payment by a warrior who said it was only that was related to the folly. He suspects it might be of great value. You should resolve to find out more. I don't know why I read all that, because we're not going to do that quest at all. All right, let's name ourselves Gryffindor. That's our family name. Boom. And now we're going to load, and now we can create our banner. So you can create your banner using any of these different symbols, and then you can choose the size. Oh, didn't let go. So you choose a size, and it's kind of nice. You can see it on your shield, which is a nice way to see how big you want your actual symbol to be. And then you can choose your background versus your actual sigil? Your icon's color. Now, this is where I'm going to use my second mod. I'm going to use Bannerpaste mod. So I'm going to leave a link below to a website where you can go and create. It looks like this, where you can create your own banner and then copy and paste it. And all you got to do is copy it from that website, this little symbol here, and paste it into this page. You just press Control V and it goes in. So this is the banner that I created, and it looks something like this. So here's my banner. I chose black. Well, I mean, obviously you guys know why I chose it. This is as close as I get on that website to getting the crest of Hogwarts. And anyway, it's just Godric right now. We are gonna go get everybody else. Obviously, that's part of the story. We gotta go find our friends. But the shield and all of that, this is what it looks like. I think it looks pretty sick. I chose black because nobody else's flag in the world is black. Also, it's kind of funny, if you choose the symbol size, it's actually just moving the shield, which I find kind of hilarious. Let's actually just make it a little bit smaller. You'll see why when we get to the actual world. That's our thing. So we now have our little flag down here. All right, time to actually get this game going, guys. I'm sorry it's been so long. For those of you that jumped ahead, we are starting. So, Godric, sitting in the middle of this giant-ass world. So, here are our, how many is it? 7, 8? Different factions. We have different factions. Now you can think about this. The way they made this world was they kind of copied it off of our actual European world. So we've got our Valandians. They are way in the west. They are like your Portugal and Spain. They are mostly lancers, so they like their horses with their lances. They don't have. They have pretty good crossbowers as well. I'm going to be. Yeah, we'll talk about that there later. Then we have our Battanians. Think about them as basically just England. So longbows and longswords, Battanians. Then we've got our Sturgians up in the north here. They are our Vikings, our Scandinavians. So they use two-handed axes, one-handed axes. Your nice round Viking shields, pretty sick. We have our Kazates. They are basically Mongolians. They're really big on their cavalry and their horse archers. Yeah? Then we have down in the bottom, Aserai. Think about this as the Middle East or Egypt and North Africa. So they have like their camel riders, and they also like their horseback riders. They're not a huge fan of walking in the sand. So they like their desert horses. These are a great place. Both of these places are a good place to go buy your horses, just as a heads up. And then right smack in the middle, we have Northern Empire, Southern Empire, and Western Empire. These guys are basically the Roman Empire. Think of it that way. This is kind of set, if you think of like early Middle Eastern time, where the Roman Empire was still around, or at least the fragments of their early empire were still around. And you could also think of these guys, I think actually this actual storyline of Valandians is broken off from the empire, which makes sense. And then you could also think that the Battanians are part of the empire. Okay, so as an overview, I think, obviously, as Godric Gryffindor is British in the Harry Potter universe, him coming from this region makes sense. So that means that I kind of want Godric, I think he kind of has joint, what's the word I'm looking for? Respect? No. Loyalship. He's loyal to both the Valandians and the Battanians. Let's say like his father was Valandian and his mother was Battanian, and so he's loyal to both those areas, because I want my archers from Battania, particularly from the forest looters, as we'll go through that later, and then I want all of my cavalry and footmen from Valandia, sorry. So we're gonna have to go all the way over there to get them, but we always start, no matter what culture you start, your training ground is always dead center in the middle of the map, guys. Okay, let's just keep going there. Let's start moving before we start talking about anything else. So here's how you move on the map. You just click, and then you can have different speeds here. We do have our quests, so as we go through, we're gonna have to finish these quests. Let's actually, you know what? It's a little bit of a slow start, guys, but let's actually walk through the actual parts here, starting with our character. Here's our skill tree. So here's our character. We would have, when we get companions, we'll have more characters. This is a little bit complicated. I'm going to try and do it quickly and simply, but here's how the skills work. We start with our attribute points. So attribute points impact how fast you can learn your skills. So right now I have 4 in Vigor, which the Vigor attribute are these 3 skills. So your military, so your one-handed, two-handed, polearm. Our control is bows, crossbows, throwing. Our endurance is smithing, riding, and athletics. Sorry, get that wrong. Then we have our cunning, which is scouting, tactics, roguery. We have our social, which is charms, leadership, and trade. And intelligence, there we go, is stewardship, which is very important. I really hope I had more. You know what? So much so that I'm actually going to put my first skill into stewardship. I want that up as fast as possible, because stewardship affects how big of an army you can have. So I want my stewardship up pronto. So intelligence is stewardship, medicine, and engineering. Cool. So you actually just saw me put in a focus point. So that is the next stage. So every level you get a focus point. Every couple levels you get an attribute point. Attribute points affect the learning speed of all of your skills, and focus point affect how far along in that particular skill field you can learn. So I just added a skill point to stewardship. Let's actually just return so you can see how far. If I didn't add that, I can right now do a learning total of 40. So I can only learn up to skill 40, level 40 in stewardship right now without adding another focus point. So I kind of want to learn faster. You can also see down here your learning rate is 5.9. If I add a skill point, 6.91. So that means I'm going to learn faster, and now I can learn all the way up to 70. Makes sense? Whereas in like Rogue, I can only learn up to 10 right now. Crossbow, same thing. If you have more focus points, the faster it's going to go. Yeah? Cool. So you gain a focus point every single level, and you gain you level obviously slower as you level up, standard RPG. So it is smart to early game focus on things that you are going to not level as quickly. I'm not going to get too heavily into that. All you guys need to know is that you're going to level in one-handed and bow, whatever weapon you're using, quickly. So you don't really need to throw a bunch in there right away, although you are going to stagnate pretty quickly because you're going to level up super fast and hit the peak. So that's all that. Let's go into inventory. Yes, we want to apply those changes we made. We don't have a lot in our inventory right now. All you guys really need to know is in here, and we will work through this as we go, is you want to armor your main character as quickly as possible so that he doesn't die and slow everything the hell down. Okay, we'll get into that more as we go. This is your party screen. So this is showing where your troops are, your prisoners, and then this is also going to be troops and prisoners that you see. We don't have any, we're not seeing anybody right now, and the only troop we have right now is Mr. Godric, and he looks like a baby right now, which is hilarious. I'm going to see how old Godric is actually in a second, just to see. All right, here is our active quests. So we have 2 active quests starting at the beginning. There is the Folly. I'm not even going to try and say that word. This is the main quest that the game gives you right away that we're not really going to follow. This is one way to become a kingdom. And it is the whole quest line. I think because this game is still in alpha, it's a little bit glitched out. And I don't really want to do it. So the whole way to do it is you walk through. When we see people that know about the Folly, we will talk to them, but we're not going to put too much effort into the Folly. The one thing we are going to put effort into is rebuilding our clan. If this is gonna, why are you? There we go. Rebuild your clan. Oh, I was already on it. Never mind. Here's the Folly. We have to talk to 10 nobles. Here's the clan. So rebuilding our clan. This is where we want to go to actually get to our first point. So what we got to do for this? We've got to get 2,000 gold or dinars. We've got to grow our party to 20. And we got to reach clans tier 1, big milestone, and find ourselves a companion. And we're going to chat through companions in a hot second here. On to the next thing. Here is our clan. We can't do too much in here right now because we don't have companions. As of clan tier 0, I can have up to 3 companions. The farther up the clan tier you go, the more companions you can have. You can also have your family because you can get married and have kids in this game and have a whole line of Gryffindors, which is going to be awesome. We can create parties. Right now, I can't create parties because I have no one to create a party with, but we can also send out caravans, check the garrisons, and dispatch different groups, or just create parties to go do what we want. We'll talk about that later. We don't have any settlements or castles, so we have no fiefs, but this is where you would deal with that. And other is workshops, which we are going to get as quickly as possible because in my opinion, workshops are the best way to make money and continue to feed and pay your army. All right, we need to be in a kingdom to go to the kingdom tab. Okay, first things first, let's go to Poros here just to see a bunch of the other stuff here. There's also somebody there for me to chat to. Okay, so when you first go to a city, these are the people in the actual town that you can chat to. The little exclamation mark means that she has a quest for us. I only take specific quests because for the most part, lots of these quests will, unless they're particular ones, lots of these kind of quests, like materials and selling and gang leaders and stuff like that, they will make her happy, but they're going to make somebody else unhappy. It's kind of a give and take. So I don't really like the give and take ones. I just like making one person happy. I'm a little bit weird like that. Don't like it. Other things to do in here. We can wait here. That's if we were injured, we could wait. We could enter the smithy, which we are going to be doing a lot of because I need to get better and better and better at smithing so that I can create finally a legendary one-handed sword, which we are going to call the Sword of Gryffindor. This is also the way I'm going to make a crap ton of money here, guys. There is ways to make so much money in smithing that I'm assuming at some point they're going to take out, but it's also a giant grind. Here's where you trade. So in your trading section, they're going to show you your party, your goods, and the other goods. On this note, let's actually get ourselves some stuff. We're going to get a mule because mules, there's different things here. There's riding. Oh, I also want... No, we have no money left. Desert horses are amazing. They go really, really fast. Mules are just for carrying goods. So each mule you get will add 100. See if I do another one here. 100 to my carrying capacity. I probably don't need 2 mules right away, although they're pretty cheap actually. Having 2 mules is probably not a big deal. I'm going to splurge. Am I going to splurge? No, let's bring back. I'm just going to get 1 mule. 1 mule, and I'm going to lock them in place. This is my grain. So locking means if I were to, again, we can do this all. I can set sell all. It's going to sell everything. I don't want to do that. I want to lock all my food and my 1 mule in place so that I'll never actually sell everything. Cool? All right, let's go through the other ones. This is all of them. Melee, it's going to do both sides. Shields and range, both sides. Armor. The one thing I'm looking for is some food because I only have enough food for 40 days because I'm only paying the 1 guy. But the more different types of food you have, the better your actual people are going to feel about you. And the better that the people feel about you, the faster your stewardship and leadership will pop up. Either one or the other. I can't remember if it's stewardship or leadership. We'll figure that out as we go. It's good to have a variety of food in your inventory. And rule of note, like thing to note is the more they have of it, usually the better price it is. So butter's actually not bad here. This is another good way to actually make money, is if there was like 100 of each of these and they were really, really low on the value scale, I could buy a huge amount of it, go to a different city which they had almost no butter, and sell it for like 40 bucks. That's one way to make money in this game. I'm not going to be a caravaner, but I am going to get a little bit of food here. Let's do that, and let's get some cheese too. Just 2 cheese. I don't want to pay too much. So that means, I also don't have my pony yet because I keep pressing back. So let's get myself a mule. Oh, no, I did have a mule. I don't know if that just did something weird. Whatever, that's close enough. So 1 mule and our 3 food, we're good to go. We're gonna pay 268 bucks. Let's jump through. Other things to do here, Tavern District. So this is where you would sell off your prisoners and also where you were gonna find wandering nobles or just wandering people. And then if you right click, it'll show you who these people are. And actually, this is somebody that I am going to get. I'm going to try and get immediately because he's Valandian. He is basically who I was looking for. And what I'm going to do, it's going to be a little bit weird here. This is going to be my Salazar Slytherin. So let's first and foremost see if we can get this guy on. So what you do that is you would click on him, say chat with him, see how much money. If he's going to cost over 500, I don't know if I really want him. All right, let's chat with you. Bitter Drought. What is it, stranger? Who are you? My name is Godric. Tell me about yourself. Well, before we begin, here's a flagon of ale for your health, both physical and spiritual. Thanks, my friend. I fancy myself a philosopher of medicine, you see. They send you a monastery when you're young. You're studying both healing the power of heavens and healing the power of man. The science of herbs, as you say. I'm not going to go through this huge thing here. You guys can read that if you want. Yes, okay. I started following the armies around, always worked for a herbalist. I could do far more good there than I ever did among my fellow monks. I can tell you, yes, a herbaler must go anywhere. Anyway, I'm looking for, see if there's any campaign I might join. I think there is a campaign you can join. Mine. You're going to cost me 600 bucks. Abso-positively, my friend. All right, I'm not going to look at the tutorial, and to get out of this, so you can, this is the other thing about this game, is there's world map, and then you can also just drop in and run around actual towns. So this is what I believe I'm in the Southern Empire, what a Southern Empire tavern looks like, which is pretty awesome. So each different culture's tavern will be a little bit different, and each different culture's town. In fact, each different town will be different, and we're gonna go into a bunch of towns as we go through the game, but for right now, let's get out of here. So we just got ourselves a new companion, so we can see him in here. So here he is. We can see his skills, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, there's Godric, and there is Raudon. Other thing we want to do is we want to set what they actually do. So now we just got ourselves a healer. So there are 4 different titles to have in a party. So there is Scout, and the scouting is seeing on the actual map, and we'll go through that. There's Engineers, which help in castle sieges, which again, we will see later. Quartermaster, which takes care of the army. So if you have a good quartermaster, whoever has the best stewardship is who you want to be your quartermaster. So I'm going to want Godric to be my quartermaster at some point, and surgeon. So surgeons help by curing both you and your armies, both when you're in cities and on the move. So if you don't have a surgeon set, your armies will only heal. They'll heal slowly on the move, but they'll also be helped to heal when you're waiting in towns or cities, but they will actually be healed faster and on the move if you have a surgeon. Surgeons will also limit the amount of people that actually die in the battle. They will actually make it so more people will just be injured in battle. Yeah? Cool. We're going to make Godric my quartermaster, and that's going to be what right now, and then we're going to be looking for more party members to be the different people. Okay, before we go anywhere else, I need to change this person. So, like I said, I wanted Godric to go find his friends, and in this situation, he has found his friend, but I'm going to use my mod to, what is this guy? Ramond? Bitter Drought? All right, next page to look at, guys. Let's get out of here. Press N button, then you go to the encyclopedia here, and seeing as I'm already on him, I'm going to change it right now. So I'm going to change Ramon into a character we all know and love. I'll be right back. Okay, here he is, guys, Salazar Slytherin. So I've made him a little bit more dark and creepy, changed his name, made him down to age 21, which I'm hoping Godric is. Godric, are you 21? He's 22. Wow, close enough, right? So now we have Slytherin, Salazar. So this is how you would. What? Why is that not finding it? Can I hit back? There he is, Salazar. Okay, strange. So this is how you would be using the app that I have, which is actually called Detailed Character Creation. I'll leave a link to that. Not app, sorry. Mod down below. Yeah, this is what you do. You can change the name and change the appearance. So I just changed him to be a little bit younger, black hair with a creepy eye, and named Salazar. Great. All right, let's actually go through this encyclopedia a little bit here. So what you can do here is you can look through all the settlements, the heroes, the troops, the kingdoms, the clans. We'll use this a little bit more as we go along. I don't want to do too detailed right now, and I kind of want to just like go along here. All right, so back to town center. Other things to do here: arena. There would be a arena fight here every once in a while. You can go to the arena and just practice, but I don't want to do that. I want to go and do fights here if I can. Other things we can do is we can go to the keep. If we were part of the Southern Empire, then we would just be allowed to go into the keep, or if we had the money, we can pay to go to the keep and chat with the nobles in there. And then the other thing we can do is take a walk around town. I don't particularly want to do that. Also, if you hit this button, you start at the entrance of the town and have to walk all the way in. Really, the easiest way to go into town is to just chat to one of these people and then to lead the conversation, and then you start in the middle of the town. But we don't want to do that. We want to start heading our way to Britannia and over here. Let's start over there. I've blanked on who they are. Valandia. So we want to start heading that way. All right, let's get going along the map here. So we only have a party of 2. We need to make sure that we don't die along the way. And the way we would die would be we would get caught by looters. Now, one thing I probably should do. So there we go. There's some looters. This is what they look like. So kind of the way this works is if a party outside away from you is bigger than you, they'll try to chase you down if they think they're stronger. So you want to be faster than everybody else. So right now, my speed right there in the information is 3.2. Theirs is 2.2. So I am 1 speed faster. That's mostly from, if you go down here to our speed, it is showing that my base is almost 5. My cavalry is better. My feats are a little better. My cargo is slowing down a little bit. The game difficulty is giving me a little bit of a bonus. And then Knight and Forest is taking me down a little bit. Right? All right, let's do this. Let's fight these guys off. All right, so here's how it goes. We got some looters here. This will show you the strength of your party compared to theirs. So technically there's 4 of them, but we're way stronger. So we are going to be better power level than them. All right, mess with us and we sell our lives dearly, and we'll sell our lives dearly. Interesting. I don't care. Brigard, surrender or die. You'll never take us alive. Now we have 3 options here. We can either just leave this battle altogether. We can send the troops, and it will do it automatically without us having to go attack, or we can attack. I want to attack, just to show you guys how this works. So I start on horseback. It looks like our Salazar here does not. I'm sorry, I'll get you a horse as quickly as possible. And there are our people. Let's, so they don't have any weapons. They're just looters. Oh, shoot. But they will throw rocks at me, which is kind of hilarious. There we go. Killed one of them. All right, Salazar. How are you going to do against these guys? Apparently not well. That's okay. So, companions will continually come back. They don't die. They're invincible, which is kind of hilarious. This is also kind of hilarious, but you know what? It is getting up my skill level. I don't want them to catch me because they can, even though they're looters. Just baby little looters. They can hurt me at the end of the day. Oh, shoot. Oh, I know. Come on, guys. Speed up. There we go. There's one more, and headshot. Boom. And over in the bottom left there, you can actually see it gives you a very specific laydown of everything that is happening. So I just gained a bunch of skills. If I hit tab, I can go to the end here. It'll show me what happened. I had one person injured, one person level up, which is Godric, and Godric killed all 4, and we killed 3 of them and injured 1. So that means that we are going to get 1 prisoner. We also gained some morale, and I guess no renown for that one, which is interesting. I don't know why I didn't gain any renown. All right, and here will be the screen. So if they had any troops prisoner, we can actually get some troops, or we can get a looter as a prisoner. And with those prisoners, you can do 2 things. Over time, they will decide to join you, so you can recruit from your prisoner pool, or I can ransom them off at the next city. And then we also got a decent amount of stuff. So we don't actually have anything on our arms, so let's put that on our arms. And we have nothing really on our head, although, you know what? Salazar has nothing on his head. He also doesn't have no weapons? No wonder you died, my friend. You had nothing. And then we just have a blacksmith hammer, which we are going to hold on to. And we are going to break that down when we go do some blacksmithing. All right, let's get out of here. That's the end of it. So that's where you would get your loot. All right, and it looks like our character has improved. So, what this means, we have a little arrow here. That means that along our tree, you have these different, we didn't talk about this actually earlier. You have all of these different skills that can be leveled up. So we got to the first point, and the only one we have is marksman. So that's going to be increased things. When we get to this guy, that means we're going to make a choice between one of each of these. And we'll talk about that when we actually get to that point. All right. We are down to 1 person. You can see down here that we have 1 active battle-ready person and 1 wounded. So that's a problem. We also have almost no gold. So we need to get ourselves some gold pronto. So there's ways to make gold. The ways to make gold are selling things. You win some money from these fights. Mostly it is in this early game doing quests. And how much are we actually down? $24 a day. So these guys are going to want to come after me. I don't want to do that yet. I want to go get myself some recruits. So this is a town. So there's 3 different landmarks on the map. There are villages. So this is a village owned by the Western Empire. So in villages, they will have recruits and they'll have products. Each village has a different product. So if I go in here, it says my primary production is grapes, which means that grapes will be cheaper at this location than any other village, and they'll also have a lot of grapes. And if they have a lot of them, there's even a likely chance that the grapes here are going to be cheaper than they will be actually at the city. But what this also means is that the city around these towns, so if this has grapes, that means this city's going to have grapes. And that means this city's grapes are going to be cheap and abundant. So if you're doing trade routes, this will be the city you want to go to for grapes. Grapes and grain and possibly olives. Although, maybe there's another one over here. Is there another town over here? I can't actually scroll around while I'm actually have this window open. So if I went to buy products, I would see grapes. Yeah? Cool. I could also sell to this town, but the towns don't have a lot of money. I also don't have a lot of things to sell, which is a problem. We need to get some people going pronto. I could sell some butter. If I sold 2 butter, it would make me last for another day. Ugh. But I want to recruit troops. So there is no troops there for me to recruit, which means I need to get away from here pronto. We're going to leave. Luckily, when you just like, you're paused until you hit move because these looters are going to be chasing after me. Oh, no, they lost interest. That's okay. So I need money. Stat. So I need to fight off some looters, and I also need some people in general. So I could get money by doing quests. So this is a rival gang, which would be fighting a game I am not very well equipped. I could win a lot of money from doing an arena fight, but there is no arena fight. All right, well, I guess I'm going to be trading absolutely nothing because I have nothing to trade. Let's go to the Tavern District. We have another wanderer here. Who are you? You are somebody who's really good at scouting. Oh, man, guys. And really good at leadership. Oh, no, guys. I believe this is who are we going to have be leadership, scouting, and tactics. This seems like a fantastic Ravenclaw, doesn't it? She even looks like a Ravenclaw, doesn't she? I'm going to call her Ravenclaw. All right, guys, we are going to call her Ravenclaw. I'm not going to be able to get her right now because I'm going to assume. Let's go chat with her. We're going to chat with her first just to see how expensive she's going to be. I'm not going to be able to hire her right now, but I'm going to come back and find you because I think we're going to call you Ravenclaw. My name is Godric. Tell me about yourself. I'm not going to read all this, but I think she was a wanderer. She kept on doing things. Cool, cool, cool. An impossible situation. Blah, blah, blah. Like you in my company. Oh, she only cost $500. Ooh, we might have to hang around this little area and come back for her. Okay, let's, I'm gonna get out of here. Change her name to Ravenclaw, because she's exactly the type of wanderer that I was expecting a Ravenclaw to be, because she is a scout, and I was expecting my scout to be Ravenclaw. The fact that she has that kind of leadership is crazy. And that's awesome. And tactics, which is also a really, although, I mean, tactics is great mostly for yourself because it makes auto fighting go better. That's the only really thing I've had any success or any use for tactics. So that's a little bit weird that she's tactics. She's not a sieger, she's just tactics. But as an 80% scout, for only $500 is crazy. All right, we're going to change her name here, guys. And there she is, Rowena Ravenclaw. She is daring. I didn't show you guys this. These are your different stats. So technically, she's daring, which is +1 to valor. Salazar, I think, was tight-fisted. He has 1 negative, which means if you have a companion that is in conflict with your character, there can be some grinding of heads, but I don't care too much. I'm gonna be playing as like chaotic neutral, so I don't care if we do a little bit of bad things. I'm not gonna be a total bad guy. I don't care. Also, it's Salazar. Obviously, he's a little bit of a bad guy, but it makes sense for Rowena to be a good person. She seems like she's awesome. So I was not expecting to find both a companion for both Salazar and Ravenclaw at the same, like in episode 1. That's crazy. But people with these kind of stats, you don't find them very often. So the fact that I found her right away is pretty awesome. Okay, I'm thinking that, I mean, having her would be awesome, but I don't have the money for it. But I don't really want to leave her in to have her move around. So I kind of want to hang out in this area and let's get some people. Maybe do some quests if we can. I kind of sucks that we're doing quests for these towns in the Empire because I don't really care about the Empire. And getting goodwill from the Empire means kind of nothing to me. I'm not going to do any landlords. Ooh, deserters is a good one though. So this is great to know this is here, but I do not have enough people to do a deserter one. Why do you guys have nobody? Nobody has any. They must have made an army around here relatively. Oh, yeah, there's... Oh, this is a good example of the... That mark meant that I can ask them about the folly. So we're going to do that just for the fun of it. Blah, blah, blah. Can you tell me anything about this? Thank you very much. Now we have a update to our quest because we know more about the folly. Thanks, friend. So he was a royal that was at a battle of the folly. However long ago that was, right? Recruit. There we go. There's some recruits. We're going to take all of you guys. It's going to cost me some money. I only have 113. Now I only have 70 bucks. Yikes. Okay, we need to find ourselves a party to fight pronto. There's some. And then we have 2 more people. No. Yeah, more deserters. Okay, so at some point... Okay, there we go. Now we have enough of a party. Okay, I can't even get all those guys. We have no money, which means that we are not going to be able to pay my people in a second, and they are going to be pissed off momentarily. But we're going to solve this. All right, guys. Blah, blah, blah. You'll never take us alive. We're going to fight you. Rawr. All right, let's do this. So, other things to do in fights, we haven't actually talked about this, is tactics. There's a huge amount of tactics in this game. I'm not going to walk through all of them, but as you can see on the left side screen, we'll go through this quicker. You select your troop group. So we only have one troop group right now, just one. And then you can select their movements on the side or your actions. So I want them to F1, and I want them to charge. Because all of you guys, go take those guys on. They would obviously just do that the moment these guys set up, but that's okay. Let's let my people get most of the experience here. You can also, I can actually only, the other thing I wanted to show, oh no, there we go. Oh, shoot. Okay, you guys did it all by yourself, although we did lose a few people. Hopefully some of them were only damaged and not killed. I wasn't showing my skills off that much, guys. I was mostly talking about the things. We'll show my skills later. All right, let's see. Yes, we only had 2 damage, no deaths. We killed 7 of them, took 1 captured. Great. And looks like we looted a little bit, which is perfect. And my recruits, 3 of them, 3 of my 5 were, they got enough stats to be upgraded. Now, I'm not going to upgrade them yet because I want to have a stack of 5. Because each person will, if I have 20 recruits, if any of them get a level upgrade, the entire stack does. So it's better to have them in stack. I didn't explain that very well, but that's okay. I'll explain that better in the future. So as I get more Imperial recruits, I'm going to want to have the entire stack level up, or it'll be slower for me to level the entire stack. All right, let's take this one prisoner. It's only going to give me $5 later. And then we got a bit of stuff here. I'm going to give Salazar these arms, and let's see if any of these are better. They are not, so that's going to give us another, $50 there, which is perfect when we sell all that. Beautiful. And it's saying that the value is higher in here, which is a bit interesting, but that's okay. Wow, I have 3 tattered clothings. So I'm going to sell all those when I get back to the city. Let's see if we can find any more raiders before we get back. Let's go to a 3 speed. Our people are... Oh, there's a looter of 9. That's a better one. There we go. So we are outclassed, but I'm going to take them off, and we're going to do better. I don't particularly care if these recruits die. I'm not Imperial, so I'm a little bit... I know it's a little bit mean for me to say, but I don't particularly care about them. We're going to attack, and I'm going to try and weaken them a little myself. So you guys stay here. I'm going to go take them on myself a little bit, hopefully not die. I don't only have a bow, I also have a sword, but I want to be using my bow right now. And I'm going to just circle these guys. It's a little bit, particularly in this low level, if I keep them all grouped up, it's better. Oh no, don't do it. All right, at least I took these 3 out of the fight a little bit. Ooh, a little more than just 3. Ow, guys, not cool. So the more I distract these guys, the less that my people have to fight them, which is great. Man, you are a terrible shot there, Godric. It's also Jared. Oh, god damn it, Jared. Come on. No, go. The more I stay still, the more damage I'm going to be taking here, because they're going to be able to hit me. Oh, yeah, right in the crotch. There we go, and one more. There we go. Is that everybody? That is everybody. Nice. We have won the battle. We had 0 deaths and 0 damage, and we killed most of them. Perfect. So we're just gaining mostly morale there. We got 2 more looters. We are now fully stacked up there. So what do I want to do? I think I'm going to get... Do I want just a few archers? I'm going to get a few archers. So I'm going to do 2 archers, and... I mean, it's going to cost me some money here. A few infantrymen. So now that means I have two different teams actually here, because I have on team 1, which is, if you go to your formation, infantry, ranged, cavalry, horse cavalry, and these are just the labels that the game will automatically place them on. You can put people on whatever you want. If you want cavalry to be, if you want infantry to be on 9, just do it. Doesn't particularly matter. The only thing that really matters is your companions, because they will automatically be put on formation 1, which is a bit odd. Not too sure why that happens. He doesn't have a horse yet, so I'm kind of okay with him being there. Yes, okay, let's get out of here. And we got ourselves a crap ton, including some nice shoes. Let's put them over there. These are 12s, which means they're probably better. Nope, I lied. They're not better than what Salazar has there. Is there anything else here that's better? Yes, this is a better hat. And everything else is trash garbage. Let's get out of here and head back. You know what? Let's show you guys, if we can, if we're faster than these guys, which it doesn't seem like. Well, maybe we are. Come on, you can do it. I'm going to show you now what it looks like if I auto resolve. There we go. So I can send the troops, and I can either let this go or I can just hit go. And this happened. We killed 3 of them, got 1 looter. So this, in my experience, because you're not on the battlefield, you have, I can direct my troops better than they can direct themselves. So if I actually fight, I usually lose less people. But in this case, we slaughtered them because they're just looters and we are actually tier 2 troops now. We did get a little bit of money out of that too. But we're actually, I'm assuming now, yeah, we're paying almost 40 bucks a day. That's the problem with leveling up your troops, is higher level troops cost more. I don't want to have a huge party. My suggestion would be to not have any more than 10 people in your party to begin with. I can ransom my prisoners for 25 bucks. It's going to cause problems. Oh, we also have ourselves our level up here. So that means horse riding, which means we're going to get some more hit points. And we also have a attribute point. And I know it's a bit weird, but I'm going to put it directly into smithing. Odd, I know, but I want to get my money from smithing early as possible. In fact, we might even be able to do that right now. Quest is just being, yeah, I want to update. Quest is just up because we've been talking to people, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Let's go to trade. So, what do we want to trade? We want to trade all of these weapons, except for, I'm going to hold on to one of these rusty things, just because it's going to help us do some stuff here. And I'm going to sell everything here. It's actually going to give us a decent chunk of change. And I think that's it. I'm going to hold on to both of these. So what that's going to do is it's going to give us enough money here to get Ravenclaw, isn't it? Or close enough. Here's the other question that I wanted to talk about. Do they have hardwood? They do have 1 hardwood. If I got 2, I do want that. I do want hardwood. Because I need 4. Yeah, I need 4. I know it's going to get us a lot less money. I'm sorry, everybody, but I wanted to do the smithing. I want to show you. All right, refining. So we need to get ourselves some charcoal to do anything. So we're going to refine 2 wood into charcoal. Boom, now we have 2 charcoal. Our smithing is all the way up to 10. Now with this charcoal, I can break down these 2 different weapons, or I guess the blacksmith hammer and the hatchet that I had in my stockpile. Storage, sure. Inventory, there's the word. So there's 3 different things you can do, guys. You can refine things, you can refine your raw resources into different resources, you can forge new weapons, and then this is your skill, and this is how difficult it is. And we'll walk through this in a second, and you can smelt weapons you already have in your inventory. When you smelt them, you gain resources, but you can also sometimes gain new parts, particularly parts that are in those weapons. And what you use those parts for is unlocking your different parts in the actual creation. Yeah? So, if I wanted to make a one-handed sword, I would need 2 crude armor, 2 wrought armor, 4, sorry, and no iron. And this is also the line of ingredients. So you start with iron, you make crude iron, you make wrought iron, steel, fine steel, and Thasmacan steel. Sure. So the steals keep getting better as we go along. The easiest way to get these high-level steals is to smelt items, but you can, at some point, like you can make iron and charcoal into crude, crude into wrought, wrought into iron, all that kind of stuff. But we'll do a little bit of both those things. So up here, you have your different things that you can make. I'm going to assume, so you start off with a certain level of things that you actually can make. So I can make two-handed swords to some extent, but it's going to cost me too much money to make those. It looks like I can make daggers right away. Throwing, I do not have the blade set for our throwing knives, so I can't make throwing knives. I can make one-handed axes, and I think this is going to be what I make immediately. So as you can see, the difficulty over on the left goes up as I make things longer, but I think I'm going to go with this. So it's going to take, it takes 1 wood and 1 charcoal. Unfortunately, I don't have any charcoal, so I actually can't make this. But if I were to, I want to make this just to show, just because I want to get my levels up. So this is going to be a one-handed axe. It's going to be your standard things, but before I can do anything else, I actually need to refine that down and then go buy 2 more hardwood. Hardwood is a product that I should be buying in Britannia because it's cheaper there, but it's actually not terrible down here either. All right, smithy. It was one-handed axe, and I was making this long, and I was making this long, and that's going to increase the reach. So if I do things, it'll actually change the attributes of the actual weapon, right? There we go. Other thing to note is my stamina down here. So my stamina down there is 62%. I can also have somebody else do my smithing. So if I find a companion out here that is better at smithing, I can choose them. But I want to be the smither. Godric is making the Sword of Gryffindor. All right, so we have enough materials. We have our 2 wrought iron. We have our 1 hardwood we need, and we have our 1 charcoal. Forge. And it's going to go through. And unfortunately, because the difficulty was higher than my skill level, I made a weaker weapon, and this also impacted the speed I'm able to use it. But because I made it, I unlocked a bunch of stuff and probably gained a decent amount of skill, so I'm now up to level 12. It doesn't change here, which is unfortunate, so I have to actually back away and then go back in for it to actually work, which is a little bit annoying. I still don't have enough charcoal to do anything else with, but I could now smelt this down and get basically my ingredients back. But let's see what that sword is worth. $63. Not bad, actually. Sure. Back up to 500. Now, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Back to town. We've been going for a while. So, we have got ourselves our new companion. We are in the midst of going for Mrs. Ravenclaw here, because she is awesome, but we need a little bit more money. We haven't made it as far as I wanted. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to get over to Valandia or Britannia, but we're stuck over here in the Western Empire, but we're going to make it over there soon enough, and then we're going to go looking for Helga Hufflepuff and get on our quest to gain renown. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. Leave me a comment down below if you have any thoughts or ideas about the direction of this series. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Bannerlord 2. Okay? Bye, everybody.